Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with the massive storm that hit much of central Alberta and Saskatchewan over the weekend. Right now, the city is trying to get the cleanup started after the storm, while Environment Canada no longer tracks snowfall amounts. From all accounts, heavier snow fell from the Battlefords through to Saskatoon. Lloydminster ended up with several centimeters as well. Now, city crews are left to clean up, and they're working on clearing Priority 1 routes, continuing work done yesterday, and also cleaning up what got blown in again after a windy night. According to the city, crews have been plowing Priority 1 roads and sidewalks. Once completed, they'll move on to Priority 2 routes. The crews will be downtown again tonight as well to remove snow, starting around 9 p.m. And the public is again asked not to park on the streets overnight. Saskatchewan is hoping people take some pressure off their gas pedals as they introduced new penalties for high-risk road activities. Our Ben Lowan has more.
Saskatchewan drivers will now receive more fines if caught driving illegally. The province introduced similar penalties in October of 2022 and are now adding harsher punishments. Street racing and vehicle stunting has gained popularity in recent years, and Constable Kelsey Davich hopes these updated penalties will help keep the roads safe.
These tough new penalties are intended to further discourage drivers from stunting, street racing, and driving at excessive speeds. Those dangerous activities put all road users at risk and have no place in our communities or our highways.
For stunting, street racing, and speeding, penalties have increased to a 30-day vehicle impoundment and 7-day license suspension for every offense. Before, you would have no license suspension and a vehicle impoundment of up to 30 days. Speeding by double the limit or 50 kilometers over now have added fines.
The cost of those speeding tickets and demerit points will be determined by how fast you are going. Losing a vehicle for 30 days is a big thing if that's something you need to get to work or drive around or move your family around within the community.
According to Transport Canada, high speeds were the main factor in 24.7% of fatal collisions in 2021, and Constable Davich sees how it affects our community.
Across Canada, we've seen an increase in collisions. Obviously, high speeds are a factor in those, right? So if we can minimize how fast people are driving and making sure that road users are following those guided, posted speed signs, that we ensure a safer community for everyone, really.
The new penalties start May 1st, but only time will tell to see if these new laws can help keep Lloydminster's roads safe. For Primetime Local News, I'm Ben Lowan.
A local MLA was the guest at the Rotary Club of Lloydminster to talk about his work since the election. Garth Rosewell was given a chance to speak to the Rotary Club about his work on multiple committees within the government.
So I'll talk briefly about all the different committees that I'm on. And then one of the things I'm on, it's called the Pacific Northwest Economic Region. And within that, I'm one of the 4 representatives of Alberta that's on this. And it's made up of 5 American states, 3 provinces, and 2 territories. And we get together and talk about common economic and policy type issues.
Rosewell also visited a couple of state capitals to talk about issues important to Alberta, like the economy, tourism, and the energy sector.
They're talking about hydrogen because they want to move towards hydrogen, and we want to sell it to them. So we wanted to see how far along they were in their plans and what things they were thinking, and how we could help them out and create a market for our hydrogen.
Rosewell said that the Alberta government wants to introduce and promote natural gas-produced hydrogen as an alternative energy to the market. It's time now for This Week in Retrospect. Here is Callum Hawker.
This week in retrospect, we take it back to late February of 1995 as Career Day hits Lloydminster Comprehensive High School.
There's a lot of pressure when you're in high school to hurry up and choose a career. This morning, students at Lloyd Comp had the chance to explore their career options, and for that, they can thank their parents.
in discussion about the things that we should be doing in high school and the interest of the parents and the concerns of the parents, they felt that career exploration is very important for their children. So that it came from the parents of the community is why we have done this again after so many years.
But in the end, it was the students who chose what they wanted to learn about.
We surveyed them as to their interests, and we used Canada Employment careers that they had listed. And so from hundreds of careers, the students chose the ones that they would like to hear more about, and from that we took their top choices for the school, and we have about 40 different people here presenting different careers from that survey that we did.
There are many specialties that you can get into. However, it requires that you go through the recruiting process.
And Principal Ross Richards says the information was well received.
We don't catch 100% of the kids no matter what you do, but I think that they're appreciative of it. And for some of the students who are not really sure, and there's a lot of those, I think it's going to help them.
And in March of 1999, we take a look back at an event put on by the Big Brothers Big Sisters Association, helping kids in the community.
Last year, the event, lovingly dubbed the Ugly Bartender Contest, raised nearly $6,000 for the local Big Brothers and Big Sisters Association.
We have a very extensive summer program, which would probably be pretty tough to run without that kind of funding. We also do, once a month, we do activities with the kids, may it be bowling, swimming, that kind of thing, bring them in here, do a craft with them, that kind of thing. So those little things are kind of hard to do without funding.
Ugly is, in fact, understanding, generous, lovable you. This year, bartenders from 6 local pubs will compete for bragging rights, with all money raised in the process going to the Big Brothers and Big Sisters.
We have one establishment that's going to be doing Jello wrestling. We've got a pool tournament going on at another one. Actually, 2 of them are doing pool tournaments. They're having Olympics. They haven't really given any big deal of what they're doing there yet, but I think that'll be pretty fun to see.
Neighbors Pub is the defending champion, but they'll be in for some stiff competition this year. 5 other competitors will be vying for the coveted crown.
It's a lot of fun, and we like to see everybody involved in it, and this is, I think, doing all this, it gets everybody involved. All these events, we're having a lot of our patrons are hosting them, and without them, like, this really wouldn't be as big as it is. Like, they do a lot for us.
All fun and wacky antics aside, the money raised is vitally important to the Big Brothers and Sisters, and so are volunteers.
We're actually looking for people. We're always looking for people. May it be to be a big or do a bingo for us, help us with our raffle, which is starting next month. Anything like that, we're always looking for volunteers because they're the main base of our fundraising. Most of our kids right now that are waiting are male. We're in big need of guys to be volunteering for bigs. We're more than happy that we have women. Like, they're great, but it seems that there's more kids that are the male gender that need a big.
And that's all for this week in Retrospect.
Retrospect is brought to you by Webb's Machinery. Find New Holland products at Webb's Machinery, your dealer in Vermilion, Vegreville, Lamont, Wainwright, St. Paul, and Consort.
Thomas Wildman joins me now with the weather, and it was a bit of a wild weekend. We got lots of snow. Can you tell me what's coming?
Yeah, well, Wild's saying it nicely. It was an absolute pour of snow all night on Saturday. I actually had to go I went to the Wrestlers game for that. You'll see that later in the show, by the way. And just on top of that, there was lots of snow, and of course, it is absolutely frigid today here in Lloydminster and in the surrounding area. As we see here with the almanac, our high for today was -22 and a low of -29, well above the usuals for today. -2 is the normal for Lloydminster and for today, so 20 degrees colder than usual here in Lloydminster. With that -29, with the wind chill, we were at well below -30 today. And as you can see here, we're on our current conditions at the airport, -36 with the wind chill, -22 the current temperature right now. So we're at the height of the weather today. Is fantastic for the day here in Lloydminster. This is similar everywhere else here in the Midwest region. Cold Lake sitting at -19 with their wind chill. They are just bordering on that -30 number as well. And taking a look at our friends in North Battleford, they're at -20 with the wind chill. They get down to -31 as well. So cold day here in the Midwest region, and just lovely weather out there in Lloydminster and area. We'll continue to look across the region here, and these are our temperatures right now. Cold Lake, as mentioned, -19. Lloydminster at -22. Our friends in Marwayne are also at -22. Vermilion and Wainwright sitting at -20. Provost down a little down south is at -20. St. Paul and Vegreville at -21. Bonnyville, Lac-La-Biche -19. And our friends in Edmonton a little bit warmer at -18, but I know they got hit with a hard bit of snow earlier on last week. Taking a look at the Saskatchewan side, La Crosse sitting at -15, Pierceland at -18, Green Lake at -17, Meadow Lake at -18, St. Walburg at -20, Maidstone at -22, Macklin at -20, and North Battleford, as mentioned, at that -21 mark. Taking a look at tonight's forecast for the border city, we're sitting at -29, considerable clouds and very cold. With that 17-kilometer-per-hour wind, we're definitely down into those -30s once again. Luckily, though, only an 18% chance of precipitation, so likely not going to be seeing anything tonight. So if you haven't gotten that snow cleared, I would wait until once it gets a little bit warmer, but you're not going to be having to deal with that at all. North Battleford is going to be very cold at -31 tonight. Considerable clouds this evening, and it's going to be partly cloudy later on. 50% chance of precipitation. They'll also, with that wind chill, get down even further colder as well. And finally, Cold Lake sitting at -34. They're the coldest of all of us tonight. Low clouds early, so they might be a little bit foggy for you guys tomorrow morning on your morning commutes for Cold Lake. But taking a look at the 3-day forecast, it's a little bit of a sunnier outlook. We're going to be having some hazy sunshine tomorrow, -17, but that low of -28 hitting us again. -27 for Wednesday, high of -16. Still a little bit better. Thursday, it'll continue to get warmer, getting back down below -20 for our low, -18, -13 on Thursday, as mentioned. Mostly cold, but it's going to be very cold with those wind chills that we love to see here in the border city. But that is going to do it for your first look at the weather forecast. We will have some more exciting news headlines after the break.
The Lakeland Apex Automation Rustlers made the ACAC playoffs last season, but they were taken out in the first round by the Red Deer Polytechnic Athletics. The Rustlers made the playoffs again this year and matched up against the St. Trojans. Were the Rustlers able to get redemption and win their first playoff series in program history? Our Thomas Wildman has more in a wrap on the weekend.
The top-ranked Lakeland Rustlers, with the best offense in the league, came up against the defensively strong St. Trojans and Kaylin Schellenberg, who had the best statistics of any goalie in the ACAC. Game 1, the Rustlers took the lead in the third, and the game seemed to be all wrapped up, but with 0.6 seconds left on the clock, Cameron Ward would tie it up for the Trojans. This game would not only need overtime, but 2 overtimes, and Asha Cayley would be the hero for the Trojans, leading to a 3-2 victory. Undiscouraged, the Rustlers would get back on the horse and win Game 2 with goals from 3 different players in 3 different periods, leading to a 3-1 victory. The series would need the rubber match, and in the first, Lakeland looked like they had throughout the series, dominating offensive zone time and shots, but the continued hard work from the Trojans would get them a 2-0 lead into the first intermission. However, the Rustlers' leading scorer wasn't going down without a fight. Haley Carruthers on the power play would make it a 1-goal game, and she wasn't done as she would score another goal midway through the second to tie it up. The defense and goaltending of both teams held, leading to a 2-2 tie into the third period. The fate of the series was down to one final period, and just over halfway through the third, the Rustlers struck once again. Darby Robertson would finish off a shot from Carruthers to make it 3-2, and this would ultimately be the game-winning goal, with one more goal coming from Claudia Lammers late in the third to seal the series and send the Rustlers off to the gold medal game in only their second season in the ACAC.
Yeah, we're pumped. After last year losing out first round, this is like our redem season, so we're really happy to get past that first round.
While it wasn't always easy, the girls were able to keep their spirits up throughout the series and continue to work hard and grab the win.
I think definitely our focus and our love for each other as teammates, we really lift each other up, and in between periods and on the bench, our positivity and our efforts and cheering everybody up keeps us going. And also we got to dedicate to the fans. I mean, we have packed barn all the time. They're hyping us up any chance they get, so we got to dedicate it to our teammates and our fans.
There will be little time for rest for the Rustlers as the gold medal series begins this week against the Naydukes, and they will prepare accordingly against one of their biggest rivals from the regular season.
Nate's a big physical, high-flying they're a handful physically, and so our last league game against them, I thought we took a real step forward as a team where we matched their physicality, and it was a real rough game, and I like how we ended the season, just sort of matching that tenacity.
Thomas Wildman, Primetime, local news.
It's time now to take a pause and have a look at all of the pet pictures you've been sharing with us.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to have them featured on Pet of the Day.
I'm speaking with our CMP Constable Cedric Holloman today about the weather event that we had over the weekend. And I was just wanting to know, how did things go around Lloydminster with the bad weather that we saw?
So overall, so far we had like 17 reported motor vehicle collision from basically Friday to Sunday. There's been a lot of heavy snow, gusty wind, and it's kind of hard to actually see when you're driving outside because there's so much dust everywhere.
So I guess my next question, you were talking about some tips here with regard to the weather. It looks like we're going to be getting some very cold temperatures over the next few days. So some really good tips here for people that might be venturing out on the highways in the cold. Can you tell me some of them?
Of course, yeah. So with cold weather, of course, your windows will be pretty much a lot of ice on there. So it is a good thing to activate your car beforehand before going outside. If you can actually open your car from your house, but don't actually unlock the doors, keep the doors locked so that nobody can actually steal your vehicle and stuff like that. And also, if you're going to defrost your vehicle, make sure to go outside prior also to be able to scrape the ice off. Because sometimes even though you heat your car, the ice will still be stuck on your windows. So that's pretty much the best tip I could give. If you can also remove the snow that will be on top of the car and on all your sides windows, because sometimes defrosting your car will actually take off the snow. Sometimes people will also have like snow on top of their vehicle, so try to remove this as well. Because as you're driving, the snow can also come out of the top of your car and go to other people's vehicle that are behind you. So just to make sure no accident happen like this, just be careful around you. Also try to see how the road is. There's a lot of ice outside on the ground. Even if we do put some sand and some salt and stuff like that, the ground still can be like slippery. So try your best to not accelerate too fast. Brakes try to be as smooth as possible when turning around corners and stuff like that.
All right, excellent. Is there anything else that I didn't ask that you might want to touch on at all?
No, mostly I would say like be careful on the road. A lot of accident happening. Like we said previously, there was 17 reported motor vehicle from Friday to Sunday. So yeah, just be careful. Don't drive too fast. If possible, drive a little bit under the speed limit. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, excellent.
Stay safe.
All right, thanks for your time today. I really do appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
Very happy to be joined here today by Jacqueline Weed with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Lloydminster. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, now Big Brothers Big Sisters, they rely on a lot of donations and of course volunteering, of course. But with going off of donations, you kind of have make it monthly to set a monthly donation for your programs through Canada Help. So can you tell me a little bit about what that is and what that means for people?
Right. So the Make It Monthly is a campaign that Canada Help started. It's all nonprofits can use it actually, but it's designed to allow people or encourage people to set up monthly giving campaigns. So you can go in and select how much you want to give every month on a certain date to that organization. So especially in March, this is important because just for the month of March, Canada Helps is going to match any donation that's $20 or more. They'll give an extra $20. So that's why we say small and small gift equals big impact, because giving, if you make a donation for $20 every month, for the month of March, they'll give us another 20, so we made 40. So every amount counts with Big Brothers Big Sisters. You know, the people often donate and they're like, I only have $25. That helps. When you have 10 people that give $25, then that's 250. So it grows in little steps. So we appreciate any donations that we receive, but it's super easy to set up on Canada Helps. And if they actually want more information, we do have it on our Facebook page about the Make It Monthly March campaign.
That's awesome, and it's fantastic that there's an organization like Canada Helps that helps nonprofits, raise that money and then to match it in the next month in March. That's awesome. What will these donations be used towards?
All money that we raise gets put towards our mentoring programs. So the creation of those life-changing mentoring relationships, and then the support for those relationships on their journey.
So with to set up a monthly, let's say $20, that will come out automatically every month, or how does that work? How do the monthly payments work?
Yeah, I believe you go in through Canada Helps and it's all set up. So I believe you pick, when you go in to make a donation, you pick one time or monthly, and then they'll just take it out every month. And I believe they also do the receipting. So any donation over $20, you get a tax receipt. So they look after that as well.
Awesome. Now, is there anything else that you would like to add in regards to the donations or Make It Monthly or even just the March campaign?
Not for March, but just to give people a heads up, in April, we will be starting Poutine Week again. So they can keep an eye on our social media for what's coming up. I know everybody does love Poutine Week, so that'll be April 11th to the 17th. So stay tuned in the coming weeks for what restaurants are taking part and what poutines we'll be having.
Well, that's very exciting news.
It always is.
Yes, that's something definitely to look forward to. But thank you so much again for joining me, and I wish you the best of luck for just, not just Make It Monthly every month, but for the month of March, where you guys will get the matched donation. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, so we're going to just take a quick look at our 7-day forecast coming up here. It's a tough look, as we mentioned earlier in the cast, minus 28 as a low for tomorrow, minus 27 on Wednesday. It's going to get a little bit warmer as we go on, getting to lows of minus 6 as soon as the weekend, but it's going to be a little bit better. But for right now, there is an extreme weather warning in effect right now, so that's a big worry for all of you. So be sure, wear your gloves, wear your toques, be as protective as possible out there no matter where you're going, and be safe in these extreme conditions.
Yeah, for sure. That is all we have for you this evening. Thank you for joining us, and have a great night.